Your thoughts are not your own. Every belief you hold, every decision you make, was it truly yours to begin with? From your first breath, you stepped into their design, a meticulously crafted reality where your mind is not sovereign, your choice is not free. You have been living in a realm where unseen forces have perfected the art of shaping consciousness for generations. The depths of this manipulation are staggering. Your subconscious, the unseen powerhouse controlling 95% of your thoughts and decisions, is not merely influenced, it has been programmed. Not by accident, but by intent. Governments, corporations, media, they have mastered this craft, embedding ideas, fears, and desires into your very being without you even noticing. They started early too, when you were most defenseless, a child absorbing the world without filters. Do not dismiss this lightly. What I am about to reveal may challenge everything you think you know, and for that reason, it's knowledge they do not want you to possess. The systems in place have spent generations suppressing this truth because once you see it, you cannot unsee it. Once you understand how this programming operates, you will finally possess the power to break free. You may think this is just conspiracy, but there is science behind it. The participatory universe theory, the mechanisms of subconscious dominance, it's all real, all documented. What they have hidden in plain sight is the blueprint of your mental imprisonment, designed to keep you living in their illusion. They control your focus, your goals, your desires, all while you move through life believing these things were chosen by you. Reflect for a moment. Think about why you do what you do. The patterns, the impulses, the endless distractions that pull you in. Why do you scroll your phone long after your body begs for sleep? Why do you buy what you don't need? Why do you chase after dreams that were planted in your heart by someone else's design? These are not accidents. They are calculated efforts, built into the very fabric of the world you live in. Their tools are subtle, but relentless. The advertisements you glance at for a heartbeat, the notifications that buzz on your phone, the headlines you skim while barely awake. All of it serves a purpose. Tiny moments, insignificant on their own, yet when combined, they accumulate, drop by drop, carving into the core of who you are. They rewrite your blueprint, shaping you into a reflection of their vision, not your own. Even now, as you sit with these words, you might feel the faint pull of resistance. That's how deep it goes. The chains are not just in your mind, they've wrapped themselves around your spirit. They don't want you to wake up because if you did, their system would collapse. Think back to your childhood, the earliest days when your mind was a fertile field, ready to absorb anything planted in it. From birth until around age 7, your brain operated in a state of theta wave dominance, a trance-like frequency that makes the subconscious wide open to suggestion. It's the same state hypnotists use to reshape thoughts and rewrite memories. You weren't just learning back then, you were being molded. The bedtime stories, the cartoons, the lullabies, they weren't just entertainment, they were programming. Follow the rules, fear the unknown, stay in the lines. Every rhyme, every character, every moral lesson, it was more than a story. It was a script wrapping around your subconscious like chains, layer upon layer. But let us descend deeper into the darker corridors of this reality. Those phrases, be realistic, don't aim too high, follow the rules, were not innocent. They were crafted, forged as chains by a system designed to ensure compliance. The architects, governments, corporations, the media, they understood something profound. If they could capture the thoughts of your parents, they could bind you without ever having to meet you. Think carefully. Why do advertisements target children with sugary cereals, toys, bright colors, and catchy jingles? Not because children have wallets or income. It's because their minds, soft and impressionable, are fertile ground. Hook them young, and their cravings, their beliefs, their loyalty will grow in tandem with their bodies. The bright box of cereal is not the end goal. It is a precursor to a lifetime of consumption, and it didn't stop there. Ponder how often you were told, "Don't talk back," a command thinly veiled as respect but laced with submission. "Be realistic," they said, a dagger to ambition. "Just follow the rules," they urged, as if conformity were the highest virtue. These weren't family values, they were bricks in the foundation of a system that thrives on obedience. By the age of seven, your core beliefs about money, success, and self-worth had already crystallized. Science proves this. 7 years to shape a mind, 7 years to set the limits you would carry into adulthood. Think back. Fairy tales, those bedtime stories drenched in fear and submission, were not mere entertainment. Witches in the woods, peril beyond the village, the promise of reward for docility, these weren't just stories. They were blueprints. Stay in your place. Fear the unknown. Trust authority without question. And as you grew, this conditioning didn't dissolve. It evolved. The subconscious mind, like a faithful servant, clung to these early teachings as sacred truths. It is why, as an adult, you hesitate before leaping, doubt your worth when confronted with challenges, and chase dreams that feel foreign to your soul. It's why you live a life that sometimes feels scripted, as though you are walking someone else's path. But hear this truth, unvarnished and unapologetic. It was never your fault. It could not have been. The subconscious mind does not question. It absorbs. From the moment you emerged into this world, your mind was saturated with rules, limits, fears. Like water into a vessel, these ideas filled the space until there was no room for your essence to stretch. And they knew this. Oh, they knew. Research at Stanford reveals that nearly 20% of childhood beliefs persist for life, unless deliberately rewritten. This is why they target children, not out of malice, but precision. Control the beliefs and the actions will follow. Control the foundation, and the house will build itself. But what they began in your childhood was not the full plan. It was merely the prelude. The symphony of control plays on daily, its melody so subtle you hardly notice. Picture this: a quiet evening, your phone in hand. A headline flashes, "Economic crisis looming." Instantly, anxiety tightens its grip on your chest. Moments later, an ad appears, promising safety. Invest in gold. In mere seconds, your emotions are hijacked. The fear they seeded triggers survival instincts, and in that vulnerability, their suggestion slips into your subconscious. They orchestrate the panic and then present themselves as the cure. This isn't a mistake, it is mastery. Every app you open, every news alert you receive, every ad that whispers to you in passing, they are threads in a web designed to ensnare your attention. And understand this: your attention is not merely valuable, it is their tether to you. With it, they guide your thoughts, your choices, your energy. And the tool they favor most? Fear. It is primal, ancient, effective. Headlines are their daggers, slicing through the rational mind and plunging straight into the subconscious. Fear silences critical thought. It triggers the survival brain, leaving your subconscious wide open, grasping for safety, for solutions. And in that vulnerable state, they slip their narrative in, unseen, unchallenged, but binding all the same. Then the ads arrive, silent whispers in the language of desire. Have you ever paused to wonder why your feed seems to know your thoughts? It's no coincidence. Algorithms have ascended from mere predictors to creators of your wants, sculpting ideas in the shadows of your subconscious. They slip these notions into your mind so seamlessly that you believe they are your own. They nudge, prod, and guide you toward products, lifestyles, even identities, all without you catching the strings. A notification buzzes. It seems so harmless, doesn't it? But it's not. That little ping is a psychological trigger, tapping into the delicate machinery of your brain's reward system. Every tap reinforces a loop, conditioning your mind to crave their content, to seek their validation, to remain perpetually tethered. You are not just consuming, you are being consumed. But let us press further, for their aim is not merely your attention, it is your identity. That sleek phone, that designer logo, that curated lifestyle, they are selling more than objects. They are selling you a dream of yourself, a shinier, smarter, more successful version of you. And yet, that idealized self is always out of reach, dangling just beyond your grasp. So you keep chasing, you keep buying, you keep conforming. It is not failure, it is their design. Look around and you'll see the evidence everywhere. Consider the endless autoplay on streaming platforms, designed not to entertain but to entrap. Hours slip away as one episode fades into another, transforming you into a passive participant, a consumer on autopilot. Studies reveal the average person spends nearly 5 hours a day consuming media. That's over 76 days a year, gone, surrendered to screens. But you're not just watching, you're being shaped, trained to never look away. Then there's social media, the grand experiment disguised as a platform. Every scroll, every like, every ad tailored to your fleeting thoughts, none of it accidental. When you see an ad for something you swear you only thought about, it's not magic. It's precision-crafted manipulation. They've built a machine so seamless, so omnipresent, that you don't even stop to question it. Even the sacred halls of education are not immune. Reflect on your school days. Why were you taught to memorize dates and equations, but not to question systems or cultivate independent thought? That too is by design. They do not seek thinkers, they seek workers. The obedient, the compliant, the ones who will clock in, clock out, and never ask why. The grading system, the curriculum, even the language of the classroom, it all rewards conformity. Creativity and critical thought are luxuries the system cannot afford to nurture. And if you've made it this far, you've likely started to notice the cracks. Why else would they avoid teaching us how to challenge authority, dismantle narratives, or unlock the uncharted potential of the human mind? Because an empowered mind is a threat, a force they cannot control. Listen closely, and you'll hear it in the words themselves. Consider the cold euphemisms of power, collateral damage, a sterile way of masking the loss of innocent lives, restructuring efforts, a phrase designed to soften the blow of mass layoffs. Language becomes their shield, their tool to manipulate how you perceive reality. Even the news plays its part, framing the world through carefully chosen narratives. A protest becomes a riot, a movement becomes chaos. These words are not neutral. They are weapons, wielded to shape your understanding before you even have a chance to think for yourself. Every headline, every image, every soundbite is meticulously crafted to control not just what you think, but how you think. And here's the twist that cuts deepest. You're not just their target. You are their accomplice. Every click, every share, every post, it's not just participation, it's reinforcement. Every moment you spend within their system, you help shape the collective reality they've built. Without realizing it, you become a cog in the very machine that binds you. Every single day, you are watched, analyzed, and manipulated, not by some distant big brother in a shadowy tower, but by the screens you cradle in your hands. That app you check instinctively, it isn't just a tool of connection or entertainment. It's a portal into your mind. Every like you give, every second you pause on a post, every swipe. These actions feed an algorithm that is quietly, persistently building a map of your inner world. It knows your habits, your cravings, your weaknesses. And it isn't just observing, it's learning. But here's the darker truth. These systems don't stop at observation. They don't wait for you to act. They predict your next move. Feeling restless? Ads for vacations or self-care products flood your feed. Had a tough day? Here comes a targeted suggestion for comfort food or a feel-good subscription. Every interaction sharpens their precision, and the more you engage, the more they mold your subconscious into a tool that serves their agenda, not yours. And don't think it stops with social media. Reflect on your loyalty cards, the ones you scan without a second thought for a few cents off your groceries. They're not just about discounts, they're about data. Each purchase you make adds another piece to the puzzle of your preferences and vulnerabilities. There's even a case where a man who frequently bought alcohol began receiving rehab ads before he even realized he had a problem. It doesn't end there. Algorithms extend their reach into the very air you breathe. Think of dynamic pricing. Ever searched for a flight, only to return later and find the price has skyrocketed? That's no coincidence. These systems detect your urgency, your growing desperation, and raise prices to exploit it. You believe you're making a choice, but in reality, you're following a script they've written. This isn't just about selling products. This is about control. Every element of your digital and physical environment is engineered to pull you deeper into the system. Take the media you consume. When was the last time you watched the news? Did you notice the tone of every headline? It always seems urgent, like the world teeters on the brink of catastrophe. That's intentional. Fear is their most potent weapon. Fear glues you to the screen, forces you to click, and in that moment of vulnerability, your subconscious absorbs their script. The world is dangerous. You're powerless. You need us to guide you. But fear is only the beginning. It isn't just about paralyzing you. It's about shaping you. The subtle nudges embedded in everything you see, read, and hear slowly reshape your reality until your beliefs, your decisions, your very sense of self no longer belong to you. They belong to the system. And what's their greatest trick? Convincing you that you need to be fixed. This is the lie of self-improvement as they sell it to you. You're made to believe you're broken, that with every new product, every new trend, every new self-help book, you'll finally become enough. But let me tell you this, the idea that you need fixing is their most insidious illusion. True self-improvement isn't about becoming someone else. It's about remembering who you are. It's about seeing past the noise, the comparisons, the endless to-do lists, and realizing that you were never broken. The moment you stop chasing the illusion of perfection, you begin to uncover your inherent power. Self-understanding is the key, not to becoming better, but to creating the life that aligns with your deepest truths. Understand this. You are not a problem to solve. You are not bound by the rules they've etched into your mind. Your self-concept is fluid, limitless. You are not yesterday's version of you, and you are not confined by what they've taught you to believe. The ultimate secret is this. You have the power to choose who you want to be. You can design your identity, your reality, your future. Self-improvement, as they define it, is about conformity. But true self-creation is liberation. It's stepping into the version of yourself that aligns with your highest vision, unburdened by fear or doubt. Every day becomes an opportunity to rewrite the script they handed you, to craft a life that flows from the deepest parts of your being. The first step: know yourself. Not the self they've shown you, but the self you find in silence, in reflection, in truth. When you truly understand who you are, you don't need their systems, their validation, or their lies. You become your own guide, your own creator. They say words are spells, each one carrying power, each one shaping reality. Think about this for a moment. The word advertisement comes from the Latin advera, meaning to turn toward. Every ad you see isn't just selling a product. It's redirecting your energy, commanding your focus, spell by spell, word by word, a subtle manipulation, masked in plain sight. Contracts, too, are not what they seem. Strip the word bare, and you find its roots. Contract translates to death pledge. These aren't simple agreements. They are energetic bindings, tying your freedom to systems you didn't create. Even the word pharmacy has its origins in the Greek pharmakia, which translates to sorcery. These aren't coincidences. Words carry vibrations, frequencies that embed themselves into your subconscious. They are tools, powerful ones, designed not only to communicate, but to influence, to guide, to control. Language itself is a framework of spells, a system of influence crafted to shape how you perceive and interact with the world. Every letter, every syllable, every phrase vibrates with meaning, whether you're aware of it or not. When you speak carelessly, when you repeat phrases without intention, you unknowingly participate in a system that subtly consider the casual phrases you utter without a second thought. I'm under the weather. I'm stuck. I can't afford that. I have to. These aren't mere expressions. They're declarations, spells of limitation. Each time you speak them, you reaffirm struggle, reinforce lack, and deepen the invisible chains that bind you to their system. But here's the truth they don't want you to see. Just as language can trap you, it can also set you free. Words don't merely describe reality, they create it. When you shift the words you use, you begin to rewrite the scripts embedded in your mind. Instead of saying, I have to, try, I choose to. Replace I can't with how can I. These subtle shifts dismantle the chains, word by word, freeing your consciousness from their grip. The power of words extends beyond casual speech. Think about legal documents, contracts, and terms of service. Why are they always written in capital letters? Capitals vibrate at a different frequency, creating an energetic distinction meant to bind you. These documents are modern-day spellbooks, filled with coded language designed to trap your consent. When you sign your name, you're not just identifying yourself. You're offering your energy, your agreement, your power. The spell doesn't work without your participation. That's why they need your signature. Your consent is the key that activates the binding. But once you see this, you can't unsee it. Suddenly, every word becomes significant. Every phrase becomes a choice. Will you allow their spells to govern your life, or will you reclaim your voice and use language to create your own reality? Here's the key. The same system they use to control you is available to you. The same power of words can be wielded to break free. Language is not just a tool for communication, it is a force for creation. Speak with intention. Choose your words carefully. Shift from saying, I'm trying, to I'm doing. Transform I have to into I decide to. These changes may seem small, but they create cracks in the spell of limitation they've cast around you. Each word is a vibration, each phrase a frequency, and just as they use this knowledge to influence and control, you can use it to reclaim your power. The question is, will you? But there's more to this than language alone. Words are just one aspect of the larger spell being cast. Their technology, their screens, their frequencies, they all work together to shape your perception and keep you aligned with their system. In the next chapter, we'll uncover the frequency war they're waging against your consciousness and how you can shield yourself from their attacks. Your liberation starts here, with awareness, with language, with intention. If language is their spellbook, frequencies are their wand. Right now, as you read this, you're being bombarded by invisible vibrations designed to keep you in a state of confused compliance. It didn't happen by chance. A decision was made. A deliberate shift in the tuning of music to 440 Hz, replacing the natural harmony of 432 Hz. Why does this matter? Because 432 Hz resonates with the Earth's natural frequencies, aligning with the human body, DNA, and even the water coursing through you. Scientific experiments reveal that at 432 Hz, water molecules form harmonious geometric patterns, signs of balance, peace, and connection. But at 440 Hz, those patterns distort. Stress levels rise, clarity diminishes, and your body subtly contracts under the weight of dissonance. This wasn't some casual adjustment. It was a calculated move. Detuning reality itself was an act of control, subtle but powerful, disrupting your natural rhythm and keeping you out of sync with nature and ultimately with yourself. Music is merely the beginning. Look around you. Every electronic device in your environment emits frequencies that impact you more than you realize. Your Wi-Fi router, humming in the corner, disrupts your sleep cycles. Smart meters pulse with frequencies proven to heighten anxiety. Your cell phone, glued to your hand, emits radiation that fragments your concentration. Even your television broadcasts are encoded with signals designed to induce alpha brainwaves, a passive state of mind perfect for absorbing influence. Think about it. From the moment you wake up to the synthetic buzz of your alarm clock, you're surrounded. Your phone screen's bright light floods your senses with stimulation, dragging your brain into a hyperactive state before you've even taken a breath. Throughout the day, the hum of Wi-Fi routers, fluorescent lights, and countless smart devices weaves an artificial symphony. These frequencies aren't harmless. They disrupt your brain waves, suppress your creativity, dull your focus, and leave you in a constant state of fatigue. Together they form what some call the frequency fence, a barrier designed to confine your consciousness within a narrow, manipulated band of reality. Now contrast this with the Schumann resonance, the Earth's natural frequency of 7.83 Hz. This is the rhythm of the planet itself, the heartbeat of nature. It's the same frequency your brain produces during deep meditation, moments of creativity, and states of profound peace. When you align with this resonance, by walking barefoot on the earth, spending time in nature, or immersing yourself in specific soundscapes, you reconnect with harmony. You reconnect with yourself. And this is why they work so hard to keep you away from nature. Cities are concrete jungles with minimal green space. Your schedule keeps you indoors, and any moment of stillness is shattered by a notification, a ping, a distraction. This is not accidental. It's a system designed to keep you disconnected from the frequency that empowers you. Here's what they fear most. Your natural frequency is more powerful than all their artificial constructs combined. When you consciously align with the Earth's rhythm, you begin to override even the most aggressive disruptions. This is why practices like meditation, sound baths, and energy work are ridiculed. They dismantle the grid of control. They are tools that bring you back into alignment, back into your power. When you attune yourself to natural frequencies, remarkable things happen. Stress fades, focus sharpens, and a deep sense of clarity emerges. Suddenly, their narratives of fear lose their grip on you. Their ads, manipulative algorithms, and propaganda bounce off your energy field. You become untouchable. Your consciousness an unshakable fortress. Language is a part of this too. Every word you speak, every thought you give voice to, carries a frequency of its own. Words are not mere sounds, they are vibrations that shape reality. Quantum physics tells us that language collapses potential into existence. What you say, you create. This is why they manipulate not just the frequencies around you, but the words you use. The casual phrases you repeat, I can't, I'm stuck, I have to, are spells of limitation, anchoring you to a reality they designed. But here's the truth. You can rewrite the script. When you choose words that align with empowerment, when you speak with intention, you begin to break the chains. Shift I can't to how can I. Transform I have to into I decide to. Each word becomes a tool, each phrase a step toward dismantling the illusions they've woven. Their control relies on your disconnection, but the power to reclaim yourself has always been within you. Human consciousness, aligned with natural frequencies, is unstoppable. This is why they fear your awakening. When you resonate with your authentic self, their systems crumble. Their fear-driven narratives dissolve. Their artificial disruptions no longer penetrate your energy. Here's the unsettling truth. These systems don't merely respond to your actions, they anticipate them. Feeling restless? Ads for exotic vacations suddenly flood your feed. Having a rough day? A perfectly placed promotion for comfort food appears. Each interaction sharpens their precision, learning you better than you know yourself. And the more you engage, the deeper their grip on your subconscious, molding it into something that serves their agenda. But this extends beyond your favorite apps. Consider loyalty cards. Every scan isn't just about saving a few cents. It's about data. Each purchase adds another layer to a profile of your habits, preferences, and even your vulnerabilities. There's even a case where a man's frequent alcohol purchases led to rehab ads before he realized he needed help. They don't just know who you are, they know who you're becoming. It doesn't stop there. Algorithms manipulate value perception itself. Have you ever searched for a flight and noticed the price jump on your next visit? That's intentional. These systems track your desperation, amplifying urgency and pushing you toward a decision that feels like yours, but was designed by them. It's not a choice, it's a script. This isn't just marketing, it's control. Media outlets amplify this with fear. Every headline screams urgency, crises stacking endlessly. Fear locks your attention, makes you click, and with each click, their narrative seeps deeper into your subconscious. The world is dangerous. You're powerless. You need us. Slowly, these subtle manipulations compound until your beliefs, your decisions, and even your identity feel less like yours and more like theirs. This is the architecture of modern influence. Quiet, pervasive, and relentless. What's the solution? It's breaking free from the illusion of self-improvement. The idea that you need fixing, that you're incomplete as you are, is one of the greatest deceptions ever sold. They've built an entire system around convincing you that endless to-do lists, comparisons, and chasing external standards will finally make you enough. But true transformation isn't about becoming better. It's about understanding who you already are. When you turn inward, everything shifts. You stop chasing perfection and start uncovering the power that's been within you all along. You are not a problem to solve. You are a limitless being. Your self-concept isn't fixed, and it isn't defined by the past or the labels you've been given. The truth is, you can choose who you want to be. You hold the power to design your identity, your reality, and your future. Self-improvement, as they sell it, is about conformity, about fitting into a mold. But real transformation, it's about self-creation. When you step into the role of creator, you begin to see beyond fear, doubt, and the conditioning that's held you back. You create not from obligation, but from clarity and alignment. Your life stops being a reaction to external pressures and becomes an expression of your highest vision. Every day becomes an opportunity to step closer to that version of yourself, the one that moves in harmony with purpose. You don't need fixing, you need knowing. When you understand yourself, your truth, your essence, you unlock the ability to manifest anything. Every limit dissolves, every chain weakens. If you're here reading this, it means you've already taken the first step toward reclaiming that truth. You've begun to see the invisible chains, the lies woven into your mind to keep you small. This is only the beginning. There are layers yet to uncover, truths hidden in the shadows. But for now, the question remains: are you ready to step into your power and see through the illusion? Remember, knowing about the system is the first step to breaking free from it. You've just begun to see the strings. In the next video, you'll learn how to cut them,